Hi there and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a machine I've owned for quite a while, 2 years in fact. It's the Genmetsu Z5-1 fibre laser, which is also a Galvo laser. 2 years is a long time in the laser world, and the Z5-1 is a 1640 nanometer infrared laser with just 2 watts of optical power. That's pretty low for a fibre laser these days, but it does work remarkably well. It's designed for marking metals and other materials such as aluminium, brass, even stone and plastics, of course. But honestly, the feature I find most useful is its ability to mark black acrylic in a contrasting white colour. It's quite vivid. It's a little bit off-white, but it comes out really quite well. It's useful for doing key rings and labels and machine tags and that kind of thing. And for that, it works extremely well. When I first got the Z5-1, I was stuck with the original software, which is BSL app. That's clunky to say the least. I never really got to grips with that, couldn't work with it. For my other lasers, I used Lightburn, and at that time that wasn't available, but more recently Lightburn have come up with a driver for the Z5-1 and other similar lasers. So I upgraded my Lightburn and paid for the additional license to make it work with this laser. And I did a video on installing the driver at the time because it wasn't that straightforward. It now means that I can seamlessly switch between my machines. I can run 3 versions of Lightburn at the same time, run my CO2 laser, my LED, diode LED laser, and the fibre laser. So I could have 3 jobs going at the same time if necessary. The Z5-1 has a limitation where it's 70 by 70 millimeter work area, which is a limitation. I've come up against it quite a few times. There are workarounds, but it means tiling, and that's tricky. But anyway, let's dive into the main event and get the white colour marking on black acrylic using Lightburn and this 2-watt fibre laser. So here we are in Lightburn with the Galvo laser driver installed. The first thing to do is to create a material test. I know the settings for my laser, but we'll go through this just to show you how you would establish it for a different laser. I mean, it might be the same brand, but it still pays to go through this process to just work it out accurately. I've set my text so that it is the speed that I know works, so it should actually show up when we do the test, but when you first run one, that may not work for you. Here I'm doing the minimum speed and the maximum speed. I'm going for a minimum of 2000 millimeters a minute and a maximum of 4000 millimeters a minute. Starting at 10% power, going to 100% power. That's just telling me that my test's going out of my 70 by 70 range, but it doesn't in fact matter. And there you've got the preview. Let's just tick start and ignore the warning message, and it'll start the test. And this is the result of that test. You can see power along the bottom there. It's starting at 10%, going up to 100, and then here we got speed at 4000, going down to 2000. Probably optimal is going to be around about 3000 at 100%, or we might even be able to do 3000 at 90%. That would appear to be the optimal speed for this. You can see some of these squares are sort of not quite filled in, and some of them have got a bit of a strange texture. It's hard to see on the camera, but some of them have got more lines in than others. So yeah, we'll with 90% at 3000, I think. Okay, so this is just an image that I have lying around that I thought I'd try. I'll do it 65 by 65, I think. We'll just set the speed here, 3000, and max power, well, 90%. So prior to setting print there, I actually did this, which is aligning the laser so that it's in the 70/70 square. This XY table that I have here is something that I 3D printed, just makes it repeatable. And just put the piece of black acrylic on. So actually change the settings from fill to outline fill. You can see it, it does it. I just wonder whether this would be better. But we'll see. I'll speed it up from here, I think. So this is the result I got. What I actually changed was I changed it from fill to outline fill, thinking that might help, but as you can see, it doesn't. I think it gets this darker line because obviously the laser's going slower as it runs over that line, which is causing me a problem. So what I'll do is I'll try something else that I've tried before. You have to experiment with this to get the best results, and what I've found in the past is that if you do 2 passes, it actually helps the quality of the final result. And to do that, I run a pass at a quicker speed the first time, so actually do 2 layers of the same image. Run the first one, what I call mid, and that's running at about 13,500 at 100%, so that's much quicker. Do 1 pass of that, and then a second pass at my 3000 at 100%. And in the past I've had better results. So let's see how this goes. So this is the first layer at the faster speed. Quite a bit quicker, I think you'll agree. So it's still making a mark, but it's not quite perfect. Hopefully this next layer will sort it out. So here you go. The 3000 is much slower than the first pass. So again, I'll speed it up now. And here's the result of doing 2 passes. As you can see, I think that's really quite good. It's never 100% pure white. Can't really get the impression there. It's always just slightly off white because I think the process is burning the acrylic. So no matter what you do, it's always going to be slightly off white, but still quite striking and not something you really notice in reality. So I hope that's been of interest to somebody. As I say, the Genmetsu Z5-1 is a good machine, but it has its limitations. And if I were buying another one now, then I'd go for one with a bit more power, I think, and obviously a larger work area, but it's all about budget. So just in case you're wondering, this is the effect you get on other colours of acrylic. The darker the better, but the blue is just about marks it, but not well enough really. The black is definitely the best result. Anyway, I hope that helps. Thanks for your time.